John, how do you reflect on recent form and where you're at the moment? 2 wins out of the last 3 games. Where do you think Stanley are?
Well, you can massage or manipulate statistics to suit your own ends, can't you? I still think we've got to keep on improving. We're showing signs of that, but we're not showing any consistency for long periods, enough in games. I said the other night, I don't think we've played badly at all this season. Not at all. I just don't think we've played badly in games. We have played parts of games badly, and I don't think we've played well for 90 minutes in any game, really. And you've just got to hope that them patches that you have are more damaging than the patches the other team have. And when you get to that situation, it's very much like a lottery, you know. I look at football sometimes, and you know, you watch that tipping point on the telly, and you see it coming down, and you don't know where it's going to go. And it's like that with chances in games. You don't know where the game's going to go, whether a chance is going to go in, a chance is not going to go in. Watching Rangers last night, Rangers go 1-0 up, and then they miss an absolute sitter that puts it over the bar from 7 yards. Then Rangers score and it gets disallowed, then it gets rewarded. And it's just like, it just falls into your slot, or it doesn't fall into your slot. And I suppose the only way to get over that, or to try and be successful is to put more coins in the slot. So that, you know, you've got to keep making chances. Try and limit the other people's chances. So if you're playing that game and I've got 10 coins and you've got 1 coin, I'm more likely to win than you. And that's the way we've got to look at the games, really. We've got to try and tilt the odds in our favour and try and take the element of luck, which is massive in football, try and water it down a little bit.
There's been a lot of focus this week on managers and the focus that's on them. Steve Bruce was sacked. Nigel Adkins left at Charlton. Does the enjoyment still outweigh the negative part of being a manager?
I think both the managers would agree with that. It does. But you know, I really felt for Steve listening to his interview. And you know, it hammers your own. You know, that football managers are people. And I think sometimes people forget that. Or the general public can forget that sometimes. Really, really good footballing fella, Steve, nice man, and a good manager. You know, you don't manage 1,000 games if you're not good at your job. And then obviously, then we played a small part in what happened with Nigel this weekend. You don't want to see them things, you know. And as I said after the game on Tuesday, you know, sometimes the players have to have a look at themselves. You know, talking to our players, they think that they've got a lot of good players at Charlton who just aren't performing at the moment. That's difficult for the manager. And again, fans don't see that. Fans don't see what's going on in training. Fans don't see the mechanics, the relationships on and off the pitch. So it's difficult, isn't it? But when you're not working, I found it, you miss it. You miss the stress. You miss the unpredictability of it, which is the big frustration for managers. But I think, I'm not just saying because I'm a manager, but I think managers should be cut a little bit more slack than what they are.
Are you grateful then of the support you've got here from Eric Worley and now Andy Holt, and that the patience that they give you?
Yeah, you know, listen, you know, there's been times here where I'd have gone under different owners. In the main, the fans have always been good, got behind me. Now and again you get the odds moan up, and there's probably a small percentage that will never ever like me, so that's, you know, you just have to deal with that. But you know, you try and go about things in a way that suits your own personality and try and get your players playing in your own personality. And you know, for the most part, we have done here. Myself and Jimmy, and then, you know, John in recent years as well coming in. And we've got a good set of staff here who the players can relate to, and the players understand us, and they understand how keen we are and how well we want to do for the club. But you know, one of the big problems you've got now, or the problems managers face, is the advent of social media. And when I first came into the job, that wasn't prevalent. It is now. I felt it a bit at Rochdale. And now, you know, everyone's an expert. You know, you'll have people hiding behind keyboards and want to cause a storm and taking perverse pleasure out of it when it happens. And you don't know who these people are behind the keyboards. Could be an 8-year-old kid. Could be a 95-year-old kid. Or a 95-year-old man, sorry, or woman. So you don't know behind these, and unfortunately people see things written down and tend to believe it.
What you've been able to nurture here, though, is a real feel-good factor around the club. What is the ambition going forward? Is the ultimate goal getting this club to the Championship?
I still think there is a promotion. Whether it'll come in my lifetime or not, I don't know. But we have to focus on our short-term goals, which is winning games. And the more games you win, one, you stave off the prospect of relegation, and two, then you can start looking up. But we're not looking any further than Saturday's game against Portsmouth, which will be difficult in its own way.
I think it's fair to say that games here have become an occasion. It's not just about the football. The fans enjoy coming here. So to have Portsmouth, which is a big club, ex-Premier League club, coming here, great. You'd be excited for that, won't you?
Yeah, it's just a shame that, you know, the club that he's built, fantastic club behind, won't be there here. But that is that these are the days that, you know, people can get a bit blasé and take them for granted. You know, and games like Portsmouth at home, Sunderland, Ipswich, you know, Charlton, they were like cup finals for us. And our players, if people can get blasé about that, we don't. But we know that we're competing with them in our own right, and we should be in this league, and they should be in this league. And that's not to say that you want the demise of top teams, because I don't. I've gone on record time and time again saying I want the successful teams to thrive. I want the big clubs to be big. But they can't all be big. So they're in this league for a reason, and we are as well. And we've earned our right to be in this league. And we certainly won't roll over for any team we play. And I think, you know, sometimes our fans can get a little bit carried away and a bit blasé. The fact that we are competing with teams who have got tenfold your budget, have got tenfold your facilities. But we've always used that to motivate ourselves. Going to be a really tough game against Portsmouth, because I know that, you know, Danny and Nicky well, and the good football people who are very, very keen, very conscientious about the job, and have got assembled good players. But it's a matter of time before they start firing, and we've got to be at our best to stop. Just
finally, have you got any injuries? Who's out?
No, we've got one or two coming back though. Ross is 50-50. Joe Pritchard hopefully to get a game with the reserves next week. Joel Mumbongo the same. Joe Hardy the same. And possibly Harvey Rogers the following week. So within 2 or 3 weeks we could have a full complement.